WGN Radio Hometown Voices Tours live from Laverne's Tavern in Berwyn, and it's presented by Allstate agent Jose Gomez, who has been an agency owner for about 11 years now, and he was recently selected as one of the top 20 Latino insurance agents in the country by Latino Leaders Magazine. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And he is with us now. Jose, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
And thanks for having us. We appreciate it. So what's it mean to get an honor like that, to be in the top 20? That's amazing.
You know, it's one of those things that you don't set out working to say, I want to be in the top 20. But at the end of the day, it's a recognition for my team, my staff, that what we're doing is really significant. So I use it as a congratulation to them.
Yeah, right. That's good. Do you throw a big party for them?
We did, we did pizza.
Well, I mean, I want to talk to you. There's a lot of things to talk about, and I know enough about the insurance business now because I've had so many different conversations with Allstate agents over the time here at WGN, and I know it's Life Insurance Awareness Month, so we'll get to that. But I wanted to ask you, one of the things I find interesting about where we're at right now as a country when you have Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma is a lot of insurance agents on the ground in those places in Florida and in Houston and along the Texas coast that are just working overdrive right now. I mean, 24/7. Talk about what they're going through, what it means to be an insurance agent in those places right now. Put us in their shoes.
Yeah. So this is what we do. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to make policy and cover our customers as if they're having a claim tomorrow, because you don't know. Last week, I was speaking with an agent from Texas. And she said, I was on the phone crying with a policyholder as a result of Harvey, right? Is this covered? Is this covered? So, I mean, I've been here 12 years as an agent, and we become family. I mean, it's an extended family from the agency. So when our extended customers and our family go through a loss, we feel it.
Yeah.
It's something that we feel.
Well, I would assume that we never talk about that when we talk about insurance in any form, but I mean, there has to be empathy. I mean, in certain situations, the best insurance agents are the ones that recognize that the disaster that's in front of them, the policyholder, is important, and putting you in their shoes, that's part of the job, right?
And that's one of the first things that comes to the mind of the individual, the claim holder, the policyholder that's affected.
Right.
I mean, am I covered? They're thinking about their safety, and then you see it on the news. They lose everything. Everything is just, am I covered? How am I covered? How can I put my life back together? That's what insurance is about, helping individuals restore and get back to whole. So at that point, no one's asking. It's all about, does my policy cover this?
Right. It is interesting too, because Chicago is not, Chicago and the surrounding area, we're not immune to these kind of disasters. Tornadoes come through, the floods we saw over the summertime. I mean, you have to be prepared at all times, because what we saw so quickly in Florida and in Texas could possibly happen in the Chicago area. I mean, that's something that as an agent, you have to prepare yourself with daily, correct?
You're absolutely right. So my agency is in Chicago. I have customers. I have quite a few customers here in Berwyn. So, I mean, I serve Chicagoland. There are customers in the northern suburbs. When we think about what happened in Gurnee, and obviously not to the extent of Harvey, but for that individual family, it is.
Right.
It is the same loss, right? It's not the extent, it's not as wide of an area, but for that individual family, it's the same loss. So that's when we're there. I mean, that's when we have to come around and really make sure that our customers are covered. And we plan for, in my office, we plan as if you're having a claim tomorrow.
How do you keep yourself prepared like that? I mean, to be in a job and in such an important role where you will be the liaison to someone, to their insurance claim and their policy, how do you keep yourself and your team prepared for that moment if something's going to strike like that?
Justin, I smile, but one of the first things I tell my team when I come in is this is the most important profession that you can have after a healthcare provider. Right? A healthcare provider will, if you're sick, if you're injured, obviously you need that. but we're about keeping people whole, putting their life back together, because accidents happen. And it can either be a financial disaster for them in the sense of something, as we've seen with Harvey. It can be, I know we'll talk about later, but it can be life insurance related.
Yeah.
So at some point in time, we're all going to be affected by some loss.
It is Life Insurance Awareness Month, or I don't know if awareness, but just appreciation. Talk about that. Talk about life insurance, because that's the one, it always feels to me that's the one area, you know, because people will want to be covered for auto as much as they can, or their home or other places. But life, they go, I'm never going to die. But talk about the importance of it, because I struggle with it too, because I'm always like, you know, maybe I'll get life insurance through my office or whatever. I'm like, nah, you know what, next year, maybe the next time. I mean, talk about how important, where does life insurance stack up when you're talking about, you know, being fully covered?
From our standpoint, and myself and my team, we share this, a life insurance policy, we believe, is the most important policy that you can have. It's more important than your auto policy. Auto, you have to have it because the state requires it, right?
Right.
Your property, if you own a home or a condo, you have to have it because the mortgage, your lender requires it. If you live in many apartment units, they require it. But no one requires life insurance.
Right.
But it's the most important, because if that income isn't there, there's who's going to pay the home? Who's going to make the payments? So 95 million Americans are without life insurance. That's, you know, an astonishing number. But that's also a number that somewhat, it's not so realistic, because most of the people, or many of the people that have it through their work. And when you leave, when you retire,
Right.
guess what?
You don't pay attention.
You don't have life
Right,
insurance.
right.
So it's one of the things that it's my job, it's my responsibility to speak with you and everyone that comes into my office about life insurance, because your mechanic, your friend, your co-worker is not doing it. That's what we're there for. That's our profession. And if we're not doing it, we're not doing our service.
Allstate agent Jose Gomez is my guest. Tonight's WGN Radio Hometown Voices Tour, live from Laverne's Tavern, is presented by Jose. He, of course, has had his own agency going on 11 years, and he was selected as one of the top 20 Latino insurance agents in the country. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about what you give back, because tonight you want to give to something that's near and dear to your heart. So when we come back, we'll talk more about the charities and the work that you do outside of just being an insurance agent. Jose Gomez, my guest tonight here at Laverne's Tavern in Berwyn. Stay with us.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. That's some good music for Oktoberfest here in Berwyn. We are live at Laverne's Tavern. That's right, 720 WGN. It's a download. I'm Justin Kaufman. Tonight's WGN Radio Hometown Voices Tour, live from Laverne's Tavern in Berwyn, presented by Allstate agent Jose Gomez. He is with me right now. Now, you know, you like to give back to the community, and that's what I love about the Allstate agents we always have on for Hometown Voices. I learned so much about what you guys do outside of just being agents. Talk about that, how important that is for your business to be able to give back.
Well, let me just say, for myself, that is huge. And I believe that I'm in a position with my business that I can do that, right? I can give back to the community. I'm involved in the community. This is community, right? I think about here, we're here at Laverne, great spot. I got to bite into the shrimp taco, and then I got called back. I can't wait to get back to my taco. But this is, you know, we're community. Allstate is community. And so for me to be involved and give of my time as well as my money to organizations that I believe in, it's a pleasure to do.
Okay, so tonight you're giving, this is the Helping Hands in the Community Grant. We do this every time we do a Hometown Voices. It's $1,000. You're giving it to By the Hand Club for the Kids. What is this organization? By
the Hand Club for Kids is an organization that actually literally takes kids by the hand after school and takes them to an after-school program in some of the worst, toughest neighborhoods in Chicago, right? Chicago is a city of neighborhoods. And so we hear all the negative that's going on, but this organization actually is near and dear to my heart. And I had the privilege of having a strong household with mom and dad. Most of these kids do not. So, I don't think anybody grows up to be a gangbanger. It's just, that's the environment that they're in, and they don't have someone to take them by the hand.
Let's bring in Julie Heth. She's one of the development managers for By the Hand Club for Kids. Julie, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So tell us a little bit about it. I mean, did Jose kind of hit it right on the head with what you guys do at the organization?
He did. By the Hand Club for Kids is a faith-based after-school program. We intentionally go to high-risk, underprivileged communities and identify kids who are most at risk of dropping out of school based on academics.
Okay.
So our after-school program includes dinner, eye and dental care, academic enrichments, and it's such a privilege to partner with Allstate and people like Jose who care about the mission.
For the organization, I mean, to be able to identify who the kids are, is that the main part what you need the resources for? To be able to not only provide who we have for the kids that are there, but to also identify who needs this support?
No, unfortunately, that's really easy. So there's a lot of need in our communities that we're in, and the greatest need is the support once they're in our program. People who will come and spend their time with them, people like Jose and his group who will come and help keep the buildings clean, freshly painted each year, places that our kids can be proud of to come to every day.
Do you feel like by being a part of this organization and being able to give kids the opportunity to learn and also to be nurtured and developed after school, do you feel the difference? Can you tell from the kids and from the organization the difference that you're making?
Absolutely. Our mission is to take kids who are in need of critical intervention by the hand and walk with them from kindergarten through college, helping them have abundant life, mind, body, and soul. So we shape our program around mind, body, and soul, and I can tell you when you walk in, you feel abundant life. You feel joy in places that you may not expect it.
Right. It sounds like a great organization, and tonight you're going to get the $1,000 Helping Hands in the Community grant from Jose Gomez and Allstate. Give it up for Jose and for Julie Heth, By the Hand Club for Kids. Getting the grant, we've got the oversized check here. That's my favorite part of the remote. Whenever we do it, where's the oversized check? Do we still have it? Did someone steal it? Can you bring that to a bank and get that check? I want to know if that's. I always wonder about that.
If we can cash it. Right?
Yeah, I want to know if I can go in there with an ID and be able to cash it.
Let me say that tonight we're giving $1,000 additional, but earlier in May we gave $12,000 to this organization. So
there we go. Oh, there it is. Look at this thing. Oh, that's an oversized check if I've ever seen one. Let me bump past the microphone here. There we go. All right, backwards. Sorry. Here we go. So oversized. All right, here we go. There we go. Julie Heth and Jose Gomez. This is the check $1,000, the grant for the By the Hand Club for the Kids here on 720 WGN. We are live at Laverne's Tavern in Berwyn. Take a look. They're taking pictures of the oversized check. I'm telling you, man, we got to get some of these. Jose, Julie, thanks so much for being here, guys. We really appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll continue the broadcast here. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back more from Laverne's and Berwyn. Stay